Welcome to the show. I'm Jason Whitlock, and I'll tell you why Odell Beckham Jr. may not be worth all the trouble.
And I'm Colin Cowherd, and I'll tell you why Baker Mayfield on Hard Knocks. It's a disaster waiting to happen. Speak for yourself starts now.
That's true. You're accurate there.
Whoever looks good on that show? Nobody ever.
All right, hello and welcome. We're joined today by a couple of NBA champions, Stephen Jackson and Dante Jones. Let's start with LeBron James, who hasn't wasted any time diving into the entertainment industry, announcing more TV projects today, including a 3-part documentary series for Showtime entitled Shut Up and Dribble, and a competition show for CBS called $1 Million Mile. Since signing with the Lakers a month ago, LeBron is now producing shows on HBO, Showtime, CBS, and Netflix. Cowherd, is LeBron too distracted to succeed with the Lakers?
That's not what I worry about. I don't worry about energy lost. I don't worry about time lost. He's got people doing those things. You know, he greenlights stuff. But symbolism matters. It matters in marriages. It matters in companies. It matters in locker rooms. LeBron now is the boss. He's not a teammate. You talk to anybody that's played with Tom Brady, they're like, oh, Tom's one of us. Anybody that played with MJ, oh, he's playing poker on the plane. Derek Jeter, oh, he just went to Applebee's and grabbed. LeBron now's Oprah. LeBron now's politics, network heads, CEOs. You got guys like Lance Stevenson who are fringe, Kyle Kuzma who's a baby. LeBron's a boss. Nobody wants to party with the boss. Symbolically, LeBron, who never wanted to be a villain, is now poking at politics, shut up and dribble, which will make him to half the country, unfortunately, a villain. Symbolism is powerful. You walk into doors and people make judgments on you based on symbolism. Is LeBron a teammate? Or is he elevated above basketball to a lot of young players?
I don't think he's been the classic teammate for 10 years. I think in his first go-around in Cleveland, by the time that ended, he was the boss. When he got to Miami, he had a power struggle with D. Wade, and eventually LeBron became the boss, and he certainly was the boss in Cleveland the second time around. And so I do think focus matters. And I think the more you expand your focus, the harder it is to concentrate on the main thing and be the best at the main thing. We have never seen, from Michael Jordan to Muhammad Ali to anybody, take on all these different endeavors in the prime of their careers.
Yeah.
I've never seen it done. Maybe he's Superman and can do it. I don't think so.
Well, I think he can because it's a different time, it's a different day, it's a different star. We've never seen a guy like LeBron. We've never seen athletes make the money he's making basketball. We've never seen the TV deals. We've seen this is a new day. We've seen a lot of new things. So you have to commend this guy for coming here and preparing himself for after basketball. So many athletes fall short after basketball. So many athletes go broke. So many athletes don't just fall to the wayside after basketball and after sports and don't figure out anything other thing to do. LeBron is opening doors, not just for himself, not just for friends, but for other people. And you got to commend a guy like that because so many basketball players stop playing basketball and think about themselves. Don't think about helping others and doing other stuff like that. So everything he's doing is not just for himself. We got to keep that in mind. He's doing it to help others.
LeBron has done a great job of delegating and creating a company with Maverick Carter that is getting bigger. These are not new things. That company has been developing over time. They've had shows like The Wall, Survivor's Remorse, More Than a Game, Cleveland Hustle, Liberty City. This company has been in existence. So now that it's growing has nothing to do with LeBron. He set the tone for the company, he set the foundation, and he's the head. He checks and balances, but is he in there developing content and watching film? I do not think so. However, your first point, Colin, LeBron James is a teammate. He's one of the best teammates I've ever had in my entire life because he does things the right way. When he focuses on basketball, it's 100%. It's mind, body, and soul basketball. He has the ability to lead people in a way that I've really never seen before. When he locks in and shows people how to prepare, how to train, how to focus, how to study the game of basketball, there's nobody like him. He's been a great teammate for the past 10 years, and you've seen that from the output on the court. He's been to the finals, 8 years straight? And that's because of him as a teammate. Now, he may rub people the wrong way sometimes because of how hard he works and how much of a demand he puts on you, but that has nothing to do with his off-the-court endeavors.
But he's not winning big in L.A. without a second great player. Okay. Kevin Love was a 25-13 guy. He was reduced to his valet in Cleveland. Chris Bosh told Kevin Love, this ain't easy, man. You become the other. Kyrie Irving hit the biggest shot in the NBA last 2 years, Game 7. An hour later, nobody cared. It's LeBron. He's got Kawhi's out there. Clay's out there. There are Jimmy Butler's out there. They're watching LeBron now. And basketball's culture in America has changed in 20 years. It's about you, the man. But when you play with LeBron, he the man. There comes a time in your career where you ask yourself, would you rather be known for winning or known for scoring or the individual statistics? Would you rather be known for being a champion, or would you rather be known for doing something at a high level and nobody knows about it? People remember the champions. They don't remember the leading scorer from the year 10 years from now. Kevin Love, he went from being on a non-playoff team and an all-star to being an all-star, being a champion, and somebody that you will remember. That city of Cleveland will always remember him. Minnesota, they may not remember him.
I think you're right about LeBron's past. I just think Colin's point and mine is he's expanding more and more. When you start scrapping with the president publicly and you start, I'm starting to school with the Akron public school systems, all of that diminishes your focus. And that's not a knock, because what I'm saying, same thing Jim Brown has said. He retired early, Jim Brown, at 28, 29, because he was going to go be an activist and focus on other things. Kobe Bryant, again, Steve, I hear your point, but LeBron's not going broke. You know, he's made $500 million. If he blows that, that's on him. He's not the typical athlete. Kobe Bryant focused on his career for the entirety of his career and then said, I'm out and I'm going to transition into other things, and that's what he's doing. We'll see if LeBron can pull it off. We'll see.
Kobe had bid his business ventures off the court.
If Jim Brown had Kobe, if had LeBron money, he would have made different decisions.
It's a different age for athletes at this point.
But
it's a different time.
And athletes are known to
He was
create
struggling
partnerships
back
in
then.
cities they play in all the time.
It's a different time.
No, it is a different time.
It's a different
and
time.
you can make different decisions. Just because you're making different decisions don't mean they're all going to work out. You're going to have to sacrifice something. This vision that we have here in America is the most immature vision in the world, that you can have it all. Trust me, at some point you're going to live long enough to realize you can't.
Paul George chose Oklahoma City and Westbrook over LeBron. Oklahoma City. He's from L.A. Like, something was...
Could be factors you're not thinking of. Have you ever played in front of your family and the demand in a big city of your friends and family?
But he had said a year earlier, I want to be in L.A., and then something kind of moved him.
I want to say the person that you jump on all the time, Westbrook, he doesn't get enough credit because maybe he developed the bond with Westbrook and said, you know what, I want to continue this. I'd rather go to a known commodity than an unknown commodity.
But Paul's smart. He knows LeBron gets you to the finals. Westbrook probably doesn't. But Paul's a pretty bright guy.
Yeah, but I want to touch on this point about want it all. I don't think it's the attitude of I want it all. I want what I feel I deserve. I want what I work for. I want what I feel I can create. Why limit yourself? You know,
it's not about limiting yourself.
Okay, wait. If you feel you can play basketball and do all these other things,
we play basketball for a couple hours out of the day, and then you have time to do other things.
There's all kinds of things I feel I can do. There's all kinds of things. But the reality, a lot of times...
That's your reality. His reality is different from yours.
And your set of resources. You don't have the same set of resources that he has to be able to create companies and delegate.
But how do you
not the first?
The opportunities that come to him are totally different than come to you.
How do you think this play? Because this is all going to come down to this. Can he get Kawhi?
Anything he do is going to get nitpicked.
He's just not going to, you know, he's just going to go as he slightly deteriorates. Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram. How is this viewed by other players,
Why
stars?
does he have to get Kawhi to be successful?
But not even that,
Well, again, if you want to win, I'm just talking titles.
Kawhi is not the answer. They have to develop a team that is cohesive enough to win a championship.
It's a star-driven league.
We already blaming LeBron for these other players. They gotta take care. They gotta be responsible for the way they play. You can't blame LeBron for the way they're going to play. They have to prepare just like he's preparing and be ready to play this season.
He's talking about decisions.
Period.
I just want to go back to, I'm not LeBron James, Magic Johnson, any of those guys. But he has decisions to make on what he can and cannot do and live up to his responsibilities as host of the herd. I have decisions to make. Not the same. And we all get inundated with opportunities. You can't do them all. Everybody has decisions to make. your mother, my mother, anybody's mother who was involved in your success had tough decisions to make and sacrifice. It came about, and then there's mothers that think they can do it all. I can be in the club and I can be a great mother. And it don't work. And we'll see if this works for LeBron.
Hey guys, Jason McIntyre here. Before the show moves along, I wanted to tell you that support for the Speak for Yourself podcast comes from our friends at Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. They understand that home plays a big role in your life and family. That's why they created Rocket Mortgage. Rocket Mortgage gives you the confidence you need when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your existing home loan. It's simple, allowing you to fully understand all the details and be confident you're getting the right mortgage for you. Whether you're looking to buy your first home or your 10th, with Rocket Mortgage you get a transparent online process that gives you the confidence to make an informed decision. It's convenient. Our trusted partners allow you to share your financial information with Rocket Mortgage at the touch of a button. And in addition to getting a real mortgage approval in minutes, you can even adjust the rate and length of your loan in real time to make sure you're getting the right solution for you. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently. To get started, go to rocketmortgage.com/speak. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
All right, welcome back to the show. That was one of the stars of Last Chance U on Netflix, the third season. It features a relationship between Independence Community College head coach Jason Brown and quarterback Malik Henry, who is a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, went to Florida State, left Florida State, ends up at ICC, and somehow we found the one highlight from the show where Jason Brown actually looks sane and is saying positive things about a young person. But I'm honored to be joined by Malik Henry and his dad, Marshall Henry. Thank you guys both for being here. I got to be honest with you guys. I did not like Jason Brown at all in this documentary. I did not like the way he talked to anybody, assistant coaches, players on the team. I thought he was a belligerent jerk. But I thought, Malik, honest to goodness, I thought you were treated most unfairly by the documentary. You were a kid, and I felt like the documentary vilified you, and I thought Jason Brown did as well. I want to know, what was your relationship like with Jason Brown?
I just want to say thank you for having me on the show, first and foremost. But my relationship with Coach Brown, he was more or less just like a bigger, older brother to me. We had a great relationship off the field, on the field, and our relationship made it so we can talk to each other like that and we can communicate like that. And sometimes it wasn't always in the best way, and you know, that's what Last Chance U showed. They wanted to show, you know, how we communicated on the field, and it didn't always seem the best. But at the end of the day, off the field, we always used to chop it up, go hang out in the locker room, in the you know, in the film room, go watch film together. And we had that relationship where we can sit down and talk to each other without yelling, I guess.
And so right now today, you and Jason Brown are still friends? You guys get along?
Yeah, yes, sir, definitely. I mean, I call him all the time. We talk. You know, he tells me he loves me. You know, he's just like another father figure to me. And it just happened to be that he was my coach, and that, you know, we had our disagreements, and you know, but at the end of the day, we're a family still.
I watched all 8 episodes, probably took me 2 days. Have you seen all of the Netflix documentary Last Chance U, the 3rd season? And if you haven't seen it all, have you seen it? How do you think you came across in the documentary?
No, sir, I haven't seen all the episodes, but the episodes I did see, I didn't think I was portrayed in, you know, portrayed in a great way, or I didn't think I was you know, I don't think they show the real side of me, and I don't think they show the real side of, you know, Coach Brown and our relationship together.
Marshall, I want to go to you. Have you seen the documentary? How do you think your son came across, and do you think he was treated fairly?
I have not seen the entire 8 episodes, but I've gotten snippets of most of them. I think the episode showed what it showed. Things happened. Malik said and did things. JB said and did things on the field. I think what's missing is the personal relationship that Coach JB and Malik has. Malik considers more of a father, son. I consider it more of as a big brother, little brother. And, you know, Coach Brown wasn't acting. That's who he is. Like it, love it, hate it. It's just who the guy is. And, you know, I think there were times based on things that Malik was going through at the time, he showed his frustration on the field. I don't think, and I haven't seen all the episodes, but I don't know of any episodes off the field that Malik had. I don't think there were any. I would have known. I would have got that phone call. So I think it was a good relationship that just wasn't portrayed in its entirety.
I think that's the feeling I had watching it, like there's got to be more to Malik Henry than what I'm seeing here. And so take me all the way back to five-star kid coming out of high school, the first or second quarterback in everybody's ratings, goes to Florida State. What happened at Florida State? How did Malik even end up at ICC?
It's a long story, but I'm gonna try to give you the 30-second version. Malik was 17 when he went to Florida State, and I think at Florida State, Malik, I think not the pressure of football, but the pressure of being on his own at 17, 2,000 miles away from home, caused anxiety and things of that nature. You know, people always ask me, well, what happened to Malik at Florida State? Well, he got kicked out of school. You know, Malik didn't get kicked out of Florida State. Let's start there. I want to get rid of some of the rumors. Malik did not get kicked out of Florida State. Jimbo and I had a very good relationship. I think when the season started, we found out Malik's grandmother had cancer. His grandfather had a stroke. Malik's very close to his grandparents. Malik wanted to come home. It's like, no, you got to stay in school. You got to play football. And I think the anxiety of those things, along with now he's in school, now he's vying for a starting position at quarterback. I just think the pressure of those things, not football, those things kind of started the snowball rolling of the anxiety. The anxiety led to, I think, a state of depression, and I think it spiraled out of control at that point. And at that point, around November is when I went down I think I was going to a game or to a practice or something to that effect. And Jimbo and I sat down and talked, and it's like, you know, we gotta figure out what we're gonna, Malik, you know, he's struggling down here. And I made a decision that after seeing him and talking to Jimbo, all right, we got to get him out of here. And gotcha. we did. And that's how he left Florida State.
I hear your dad point to anxiety. And when I'm watching the documentary, I think, and I call my friends after I've seen it all, and I say, I don't think Malik Henry wants to play football. I think Malik Henry wants to play baseball. I think that his talent in football makes him think he has to play football, but I just don't see a kid that's happy playing football. Do you love the game? Is this the game you really want to play?
Yes, sir. I battled with that decision probably a long time ago before I went to Independence, and probably still when I was at Independence, I was battling with the question of, do I want to still play football, or do I want to continue on and continue, go to another school and play and really show everybody what I can do, or do I want to go play baseball? And I love baseball. It was my first sport, and it's probably one of my favorite sports to watch. But I'm a football player at the end of the day, and I've worked my butt off to get to where I am right now, and I can't let all that hard work go to waste. And at my time at Independence, I've learned to love the game again. I fell in love with the process again, and through the ups and the downs, at the end of the day, I'm still a football player, and I love football, and I'd like to continue on playing.
Marshall, not to be disrespectful, but I got to ask real questions. The end of the documentary, the last episode, there's a scene, you, Malik, a trainer sitting at a table having lunch, I think in Orange County or somewhere in California. And I came away with Marshall wants this more than Malik. Marshall wants his son's football career more than his son does. Are you a helicopter parent? Do you feel like you're putting pressure on Malik to play the game?
You know, it's funny. I'm not sure about which scene you're referring to, but to answer your question, I've heard that comment made about me on several occasions about being a helicopter dad. And I'll be honest with you, I find it amazing that when a black father tries to make sure his son is doing well, and whatever the circumstances are, I don't enable him, but if he needs my help, I'm there for him. Malik bounces things off from me. Dad, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I give him my opinion. You know, while Malik was in high school, I made the decisions for Malik, consulting him about what he wants to do. Malik, and to go back just a second, you know, Malik got beat up in the media and internet about going to IMG and then leaving IMG. Well, Malik never wanted to go to IMG. Malik and I had a huge fight about going to IMG. He didn't want to leave his friends. He didn't want to, you know, he had just established himself at Westlake. He didn't want to go. I told Malik I think that was his best move football-wise. Jimbo had asked to bring Malik down to IMG. The coach at the time was a FSU guy, recruited Malik to IMG, and Malik fought me tooth and nail. I had to sit down with his mother and say, hey, listen, this is in Malik's best interest. And Malik was 15. 15-year-olds don't make decisions in my household. So I told him, listen, I know you don't want to do this. This is in your best interest. So it didn't work out at IMG because a month later, the head coach was gone. Brought in a new coach who Coach Wright and I, you know, we text each other from time to time. Great guy. Just wasn't what he had went 2,000 miles away to do. So he came back home and left. I don't think I want it more than Malik does. I know the hard work the kid put in. I know how hard he worked. I know the sacrifices he's made to become the number 1 or 2 quarterback in the country out of high school. So, and then I saw the frustration that he went through trying to please everybody. If people remember Malik, during his recruiting process, he shut it down early. He committed to Florida State early, and he told me, Dad, look, shut this down. I don't want to talk to other schools. I'm going to Florida State. I don't want to do the recruiting process no more. So I'm in his, I'm a part of his life, and as his dad, to help.
You're comfortable with the decisions you made.
Oh, for sure.
And comfortable with the level of support.
For sure.
What's in the future? Are you planning to play this year, or is there some school out there you'll be enrolling in this fall? Or how are you going to move your career ahead?
I'd rather not talk about what coaches or what schools are, recruiting me at the moment. But there are a couple schools that I'm waiting to hear back from, and we'll move forward from there. But I definitely see myself playing still.
I appreciate both of you guys coming here. I would suggest to people that they watch Last Chance U and watch it with an open mind, because I came away, I think the sophisticated view to me, and Malik, you don't have to agree with me, I just felt like that was a terrible situation for any young person to be put in. I didn't see any teaching of football. I saw kids being, hey, go out there and perform. I don't even have to coach. And then I just saw a lot of abuse that I felt like would put any kid in a spot where they would misbehave or not look great because they weren't in the greatest situation. Thank you so much for coming here. Good luck to you moving forward. Obviously, Dad, stay in his life, and surely you're going to. And those of us that may second guess anything, As long as you know you're doing the right thing, keep at it. All right, welcome back. We're joined now by a couple of longtime NFL players, TJ Houshmandzadeh and Bucky Brooks. Let's move to the NFL, where week 1 of the preseason kicks off on Thursday, but football might not be the only thing people are watching for, with the players and the league still battling over the national anthem. Players Coalition leader Malcolm Jenkins says he's not sure if he'll protest Thursday night, but added that the coalition could release a statement about the issue soon. Cowherd, do you think the anthem issue will be reignited this Thursday?
No, I actually think the media drives that story now. I can watch my ratings every day. The public doesn't care. I mean, Malcolm Jenkins said yesterday, I don't know. They asked Michael Bennett. He's like, I haven't thought about it. This is now initially, it was a player story, a social cause story, and a media covering the story. The players' union and the owners now feel like they're working together. They've had this tipping point. They've argued. They were battling, and it kind of feels like Malcolm Jenkins is like, all right, we're getting some support here. I think the media is driving this story more than anybody else now.
There's truth there. The media's driving it, but I think the story now is it's a war between the players and Trump. And so I do think there's a chance something's going to pop off Thursday because, you know, we have our troller in chief, and then we have the people that are easy to be trolled, a handful of NFL players, and some of the other, basketball players, a handful of them that are easy to be trolled. And so they just troll each other back and forth. And so I think there's a chance that a handful of NFL players will troll the president and try to reignite the national anthem, see if they can provoke a response and gain a couple thousand Twitter followers. And so, yeah, I kind of expect something to happen.
I think it's kind of moved beyond the field. I think players have kind of grown tired of having to deal with the questions in the media. I think they've now started to use different means to get their message out. Torrey Smith down in Carolina. Last week they did Schools Not Prisons, had the shirt on during the media calls. A lot of the things that we've talked about on here, rather than talk about the anthem, find other ways to get the message out. I think guys are looking for other means to get what the intended message is out to the masses, and I don't think we'll see anything pop off on Thursday when it comes to the anthem.
So I actually agree with Colin, to be honest with you. The media has driven this, but I honestly believe there's going to be some lone wolves that kind of want to, as you say, gain some social media followers. I talked to somebody about this today that's deeply involved in this situation, and all he kept saying was, we're working on a solution. We're working on a solution. So I really don't believe anybody will, as a team, cause a scene, so to speak, or kneel or put a fist up or what may not. They're working on a solution. That's all he kept saying. We're just trying to work on a solution that satisfies both sides. And you will get a couple guys that, I'm going to do what I want to do. And you'll probably see that, but they better be starters and they better be really good players, because if not, you won't see them again.
Because this is not the time. It's not a time in terms of the preseason. Unless you're one of those 15 guys that are firmly entrenched on the squad, you have other fish to fry. You're trying to make sure that you put yourself in a position to earn a roster spot. You don't want to do anything that detracts from that. And in this climate, if you're a bubble guy, you can't take the chance of doing something.
That's a really good point.
If you're a bubble guy, you might as well go home if you're going to do something, because you're getting cut the next day.
Then I think, and I think you've made some persuasive points, but I expect a T-shirt explosion on Thursday. I think we'll see organized some kind of message, pregame T-shirts, and all that stuff will probably be appropriate and rather harmless and not polarizing for fans. I guess I'm kind of wishing and hoping that they go the Torrey Smith route. But part of me, when I read Malcolm Jenkins' comment saying, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, ask me tomorrow or whatever, I'm like, well, hold on, man. I've already heard from you on this. When they gave you $90 million to fund your organization, you said you were done. How did we get here to where, well, I got to make a game time decision? And again, to me, I go back to this trolling thing and people in love with, oh my God, the president may tweet about me and I'll get a bunch of press off that. It's just too tempting for a lot of people.
All right, to a different kind of protest with Aaron Donald still holding out after not getting the long-term deal he's been seeking for 2 years. But he's not the only superstar wanting a new contract. Conflicting reports swirling about the progress of Odell Beckham Jr.'s talks with the New York Giants. Though Odell says he's optimistic a deal will get done. Whitlock, which one of these guys, the star receiver, the star defensive lineman, is more important to their team?
Look, I'm sure I have a bias here because I'm going to go with the defensive lineman who's right in the middle of the defense. I think all great defenses in the old era, but when they used to allow you to hit, and they still occasionally let you hit in this league, it's all built straight up the middle. Your 2 tackles, your middle linebacker, and your safety, to me, that's where I wanted my defense the strongest. And Aaron Donald is a force in the middle of a defensive line that collapses a pocket, makes edge rushers better, makes your corners better, makes everybody better. To me, it's Aaron Donald.
I would have said that most of my life. But we are seeing something in the NFL. Multiple receivers getting massive money. And there's a reason for it. Guys like Andy Reid have figured it out. 2 rule changes are going to make this the year of the offense. The catch rule, you're going to have somewhere between 300 to 500 balls count as catches that were taken away this year.
300 to 500?
How many games? 1 a game? 2 a game? That's how many have been taken away. And by the way, 50 of them will be touchdowns. Secondly, that's
check your math.
Okay. Okay. The catch rule for the last 15 years has been an anti-receiver rule. It is now flipped to a pro-receiver rule. The second rule, the helmet rule, that is going to be a penalty, first down offense. You're going to see 400 first downs, drives extended on the helmet rule hit. GMs have figured this out. GMs over the last 4 months have said, we got to pay these receivers. It's flag football now. We're going to get 400 to 500 catches this year that didn't count, 30 touchdowns, and first down, safety late hit. I think all these guys, look at the numbers, the guaranteed money for receivers in the last 4 months. It's quarterback money 3 years ago.
Said the league has now become all about passers, pass catchers, and playmakers. As much as I love to see good defense, the smart people have figured out play offensive football and make it an arena league game. Even in the Super Bowl, as great as we want to talk about those defenses leading up to it, teams were getting shredded in the postseason. I think it is a copycat league. People saw how Philadelphia took apart the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots took apart the Philadelphia Eagles, who were 3rd in defense. They're saying, we're going to open it up, we're going to put the ball in the hands of the passers, and we're going to give it to the playmakers on the perimeter. Follow the money. All those wide receivers, 16 million plus, you're only going to see more people commit to throwing the ball all over the yard. There's a reason why people are hesitant or hesitating to pay the rushers. It's because no matter how good those guys are, I don't know if they really impact the game. Khalil Mack, Aaron Donald, the numbers are nice, but do they really make an impact on the game when it matters? I think people are skewing towards offense over defense, and that's the way the game is going.
Well, to answer the question, I'll say Odell Beckham is more important. And the only reason I say that is because the Rams have Ndamukong Suh now. If they didn't have him, it's a landslide that Aaron Donald is more important. The reason Aaron Donald isn't getting paid, he wants quarterback money.
Yes.
And so that's why he wants quarterback money, whereas Odell Beckham is trying to get quarterback money from 3 years ago. That's the difference. Anytime you can force them to run east and west and not north and south, which Aaron Donald forces you to do, you're more important. I'm a receiver. As of right now, Odell Beckham is more important, but that's because the Rams have another great D tackle in Ndamukong Suh. If he wasn't there, it would be a landslide that Aaron Donald is a more important player between these two.
I almost, and literally, and y'all think I'm joking, I almost shed a tear when Bucky was talking about how soft they've made this league and how they've de-emphasized everything. Both of you all are right. They have turned this into 7-on-7 highlight football. Having said that, I think Aaron Donald's unique skill of getting to the quarterback from inside the defense, I think is still highly, highly valuable. It's what I think different than Khalil Mack, where you can.
He puts pressure in your face. The quarterback sees that right away. Right away.
Whether he hits you or not.
It is funny because when you talk to scouts, you talk to general managers, the old school model is still there. Man, I want an inside pass rusher, someone that can affect the game. But the way that it's going, the rules and the way quarterbacks are, we're looking at these older quarterbacks that can beat you with their mind. They're getting the ball out of their hands before the guy can make an impact. It is changing the way that we're thinking about team building. I just believe we're going to continue to see people give the money to the pass catchers because they believe they bring a bigger impact to the game.
TJ Hushmanzada, Bucky Brooks are back. Let's move to Cleveland. I was right on the accuracy thing, where the Browns will make their debut on HBO's Hard Knocks tonight. I'm watching, baby. Fair to assume that much of the action will revolve around first overall pick Baker Mayfield, you think? Who's never shied away from the spotlight or the camera. His outsized personality sometimes gets him into a little bit of trouble. Whitlock, will Hard Knocks be a distraction for Baker touchdown maker?
A distraction? No, it'll be something he will embrace. I don't think he's going to look good because I don't think Hard Knocks is in the business of making these outsized personality, unproven players look good.
Right.
So, you know, look, the guy's going to be getting beaten out probably by Tyrod Taylor throughout this whole process, and he'll be delusional about it and still have this huge outsized personality and confidence that won't fit with the fact that, no, you're the #1 overall pick and you're getting beat out by Tyrod Taylor. So I don't think it'll be a distraction. I think it's something he'll look forward to, but it's not going to make him look good.
Listen, Jared Goff is a vanilla personality. He looked bad.
Yeah.
Remember that? You're like east-west, north-south, couldn't figure it out, took his shirt off. You're like, ugh. I mean, and he's a guy that literally, I mean, seriously, he avoids publicity. He lives in L.A., and he's the quarterback of the Rams. He's invisible in Los Angeles. Listen, tell me a relationship that got stronger after a reality show. I mean, Kardashians have run through several guys. I mean, that's what reality shows do. They separate, they divide.
I honestly don't know. Are the Jenners still married, Caitlyn Jenner? And I mean, I don't know.
I just think reality shows they want dynamic, combustible. It started with MTV's Real World. They ply you with alcohol. They want stories. They don't want to walk in. Listen, Jeff Fisher and Jared Goff are not big personalities. That thing was a fireworks show. I think it's trouble.
I mean, I think for Baker Mayfield, I don't think it'll necessarily be a distraction. It'll be another thing that he's involved in. Look, he had the docuseries that's aired on this network where he likes the life. He likes the lights. He likes all the fanfare that comes along with it. You know, I think it would be interesting to see him behind the scenes and how much work he actually does. I think for him, it won't be a distraction. Some of the other guys, I'm more worried about the other guys on the team, the fringe players, the guys that we don't know about, who may try and use this as a step off, a launching point to something bigger and better. The Browns have been a dumpster fire for the last 4 or 5 years. I'm curious to see how this all plays out.
It's going to, number one, they're going to try to focus on Baker Mayfield because he was the #1 pick. He has that personality to where he's good for TV. Look like he's made for TV. If you want it to be a distraction, it's going to be a distraction. Everybody knows there's cameras around. Everybody's going to watch what they say. Everybody's going to look to see if that mic is in the room. They're going to be aware of it. He seems like he understands this. He did the docuseries, so he kind of has an idea of what's going on. They're going to try to feature him. They're going to make him a star of the show if they can. And if he gives them the information and makes it a distraction, then that's what it's going to be. But if I was a player and I was a fringe player, oh, man, the guys that are fringe players, being on Hard Knocks is going to push you. When you're tired, it's going to push you because you know it's on camera. You know they can possibly show this on TV. It pushes guys. When you have cameras around, you're going to go harder. That's just the reality of it.
Cameras do change people. They just do.
They say the eyes in the sky never lie. But that's not true when it comes to HBO or any of these networks. They don't lie to coaches, the eyes in the sky. But when you're turning over your personality to be framed by reality TV show producers,
edited.
Yeah, an edited version, they get to frame you up. They get to sit in the room and say, how are we going to make this person look? We can leave this out or we can put this in. That's the risk for Baker Mayfield and, to be quite honest, for Hugh Jackson, another guy, and to Todd Haley. You're talking about 3 of the biggest egos, quarterback, offensive coordinator, and head coach. That's a lot for HBO to work with, and they can make any of those guys.
They're going to get a lot of sound bites with those. For sure, with Hugh and the way Todd Haley comes, they're going to have a lot of sound bites.
Baker has to be careful, though, because part of the narrative that hung over Jared Goff's first year was due to the narrative that came out of Hard Knocks. We saw him as a bust because some of the things that came out, we didn't like. How smart is he? Does he
didn't
work
know where
hard?
the sun set.
All those other things. And so a lot of why we were like, oh, he can't play in the league is due to the perception that was created for that. Baker Mayfield needs to really manage his personality and make sure that he doesn't put anything out there that could harm him.
Wasn't it on Hard Knocks? Wasn't it where Cromartie couldn't name his kids? Wasn't that on Hard Knocks?
I mean, was nine or 10 of them, he kind of got tongue-tied. He was like, yeah, it was on Hard Knocks, yes.
Show me the person who's won on Hard Knocks.
It doesn't.
Didn't it? Maybe
reality,
was Rex Ryan on there? Did he look good?
He looked bad. He ate M&Ms nonstop and used words you shouldn't use on TV. And he looked loose, and he didn't look buttoned up.
Hold on. They just yelling at my ear. I thought Bill O'Brien kind of looked kind of good coming out of that.
He might be the only one.
And then the performance on the field didn't match up. And so that's about the only one I can think of. So good luck to Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns. We'll be watching tonight. All right, welcome back. Time for last call. Let's move to Tiger Woods, who is actually the co-favorite along with Dustin Johnson to win this week's PGA Championship. Cowherd, you gonna put any money on Tiger this week?
No. Dustin Johnson is the #1 ranked player in the world. Tiger's 51st, and they are co-favorites?
I don't think these guys watched Tiger last weekend shoot 73, 73 on the weekend.
He had double bogeys.
Yeah, no, listen, his final round, he only had 5 pars. That's a career low for him in a round of golf. Someone just finally wrote a story on Tiger and his performance at the end of rounds. His club speed slows down.
Yes.
He's worn out. He's not finishing well in those last 3 or 4 holes. I set it off a spec, and now someone's actually written and studied it.
Yeah, no, it is interesting, and I don't know if it's golf analytics. I think people have been slow to acknowledge he's a bad Sunday player. Tiger is he is a baseball team with a bad closer.
But on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, those last 2 or 3 holes catch up to him all the time now. He gets tired, worn out, he's old. All right, to New York, where Jets coach Todd Bowles says he might wait until after the preseason finale to name his starting quarterback from a crew of Josh McCown, Teddy Bridgewater, and rookie Sam Darnold. Cowherd, should Bowles just get it over with and start your boy Sam Darnold?
No, he's been there a week. Make him earn it.
What? He didn't have to earn any praise from you. It took him like 2 practices, and you were calling him the greatest thing since Joe Namath.
I think he is their next Namath because I think he has great potential, but I wouldn't hand it to him now. First of all, there's no way he is ahead of these guys in terms of playbook knowledge. McCown's been there.
McCown and Teddy Bridgewater. You've compared Sam Darnold for the past 4 years to everybody from Joe Montana to John Elway to damn near Aaron Rodgers.
He's very good.
Now he can't be the starting quarterback of the bad news Jets.
I just think we're rushing things. He's only 21. He's the youngest quarterback of all those drafted with the fewest starts. Let's see him chop it up for a few preseason games.
The next thing you know, you'll be starting your show talking about your concern LeBron's gone Hollywood. I mean, my God, you flipped on Sam Darnold, and now LeBron's gone Hollywood.
Hey, it's the new me. It is the new me. I like the new me.